Vocational opportunities for people with disabilities. Helena Industries.
Hi, welcome to another Helena Industries report. My name is Carolyn Belling, and I am the Executive Assistant at Helena Industries. And this is Carrie Jones. Carrie is the co-host of the Helena Industries report.
Today we have Kris Brewer and Angie McDunn. They're going to talk about service dogs and how they're raised from puppies and how the training process goes from there. So turn it over to you guys.
Well, and I'll start by saying a little bit about the show in general. Thank you both for coming. On the Helena Industries report, we typically invite on different community members and businesses throughout the Helena area that provide services and opportunities to people with disabilities. And for those of you who watched last month's show, you probably know, but we had full-grown service animals on the show. So this is kind of the prequel to that. So these are the puppies before they make it into the actual service animal programs. So with that, yes, would you guys also like to introduce your dogs so that we can get to know them too?
So this little one is Ember. She's a 11-week-old black lab.
And this one is Denahi, and he is a 14-week-old American Indian dog.
All right, so Kris,
Quiet.
would you like to start telling us a little bit about the program and what you guys do?
So we raise and train service animals mainly for children with special needs up to about age 25. As you can see, we are the dogs that we use are a variety of breeds. We're really looking for certain temperaments. A lot of times we'll have golden doodles and labradoodles because they often shed less or not at all, which is really good for a lot of our kids that have a lot of medical issues along with being, with their disabilities. So,
How old is this little guy?
so Ember is about 11 weeks.
11 weeks.
She's just starting on her journey. So usually the dogs are between 2 and 2.5 before they're placed. So they spend about 12 to 15 months with us as a puppy raiser. Mm-hmm. And we teach them basic obedience and we socialize them as much as possible. Then once they leave us, they go out to our training facility in Oregon where they'll spend another about 9 months with our head trainer.
Oh, okay.
They learn all the bells and whistles, opening doors, turning on lights, that kinds of thing. And then at the end of that period, they're placed with their child.
So now, do they get fostered by you guys, or are they? Do they stay with you guys?
Yep. So for the 12 to 15 months when they're with their puppy raiser, they go everywhere with us. They go to work, they go to the store, they go to restaurants. Wherever we go, they go.
The more the better.
Yeah.
They need to just see everything that they can possibly see and be exposed to anything that you can think of. Trains, bikes, cars,
Elevators.
Loud noises.
loud noises.
Different animals, different people in wheelchairs, things like that. Everything different that you can think of.
It's just kind of 24/7 training.
It is. Yep.
Everything from crate training and housebreaking up to teaching them. There's Canine Angels actually has a list of like 30 commands that they give to their puppy raisers. You're not required to train your dog, but if you want to and you have the skill to, they encourage you to do that kind of thing. And I looked at that list, and I've trained dogs for a number of years, and so for me, it's most of those things on that list are things I teach my own dogs anyway. Things like waiting at the door so they don't rush out and bump into you and knock you over. Things like sitting, laying down, leaving things alone on the floor, not picking up stuff when you're in the store that's on the floor, all of those kind of things. So And then they do whiny things a little bit. But
And that's funny because I was just talking about me training my husband's dog not to do certain things. So
The advice that they gave me when I first started training, because unlike Angie, I am not a dog trainer, they said, make them livable. Do what you would do with your own dog. That I can do. They have good manners.
So if somebody wanted to be a canine trainer with Canine Angels, how would they do that?
to be a puppy raiser,
Yeah.
they have a website that you can go to. It's canineangels.org. Is that right?
canine-angels.org.
And then there's a form on there that you fill out to apply to be a puppy raiser. And it's a comprehensive form, and then they actually do kind of reference checks with if you know somebody that's in the area. Like I knew Kris, she worked with my husband. Then they will talk to that person and see what they know about you, that kind of thing. And they'll do a phone interview with you and all of that. Kids can be puppy raisers if their parents are going to agree that they will help them puppy raise. So
Yeah, I can imagine my kids showing up. Guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do the puppies come from?
They come from all over. They can either be donated from a breeder, which is the case in Ember and Denahi's case, or we often will have a female that will breed with a stud from another service dog organization.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of fun in that when it's one of our litters, they have a theme, such as the dessert litter or the cars litter, and all of their names will revolve around that theme. And then when they're a donated puppy like these guys, we go down the alphabet.
Okay.
So Denahi was a D dog, Ember was an E dog.
Oh, I see. I like the names.
Yeah, so and as a puppy raiser, we get to help pick the names. You know, with whatever theme or letter, we give them our ideas, and we get to help choose. So it's nice to be in on it from the get-go.
Yeah. Now, how many puppies have you each had?
So Ember is my 6th.
Okay.
and Denahi is my 3rd.
Wow. That's great. Will you tell us just a little bit? I know you mentioned that these are dogs specifically for children with disabilities, and I think that's something I didn't know prior to you guys coming onto the show. So tell me a little bit more about that.
There's 5 gals that were living in Southern California that founded our organization, and they felt like they were a number with the groups that they were working with previously, and the dogs were just a number in that. And so, and they felt that the children was an underserved population that needed dogs. And so they dedicated, they started Canine Angels and dedicated themselves to specifically raising for children. Because it is so difficult for kids to find an organization that raises for them. Stop.
And a lot of the older kids that are now young adults are coming back for their second dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the second part to it. So they raise for children up to 25, but then if there's someone that's been involved in the program that needs a successor dog, theirs has gotten too old and it's time to retire them, they will work with them as well.
Okay.
So that's what she's going to actually be.
I think he's biting the cord.
No.
Yes, this
Leave
is
it.
our life, 24/7.
Leave it.
Well, and I know
Sorry,
that
bud.
Denahi already knows a few things. Angie, what do you think about trying to show the viewers and show us some of
Denahi.
what he's learned?
Come here. Denahi, come on.
Maybe.
Come on. He's gonna.
Like
Come
get
here.
your kids to perform on command.
There you go. Here. Up. Denahi. Up. No, you didn't quite make it. There you go. Good boy. Off. Sit. Good. Nope, sit. There you go. Yeah, you know I have treats in my hand, huh? We do a lot of treat training with puppies because you got to teach them the mechanics. Down,
She smells them.
down. This is one he has to work at because he forgets. There you go. Good boy. And it just takes a lot of patience if you're working on those kind of things just to get the dog to remember, because puppies, like small children, have an attention span of about 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And so, and their memory span isn't very long. So if you don't work with them every day, they forget.
So from here, where do they go? Once they're trained with you guys and ready for the next step?
Off. They will go to Grants Pass, Oregon, is where
Oh,
our
you did mention that.
facility is. And we have what we call a turn-in day. It's usually the last weekend in September, and or second to the last weekend in September, not to interfere with anything. But so we go down there and we go to the head trainer's facility, and you do what's called a turn-in report first. So basically, every month you do puppy reports on your puppy, what you've exposed them to, what training you've worked with them on, all of those kind of things. And are they proficient? Are they just learning a new task, or that kind of thing? And then at the end, you fill out a turn-in report that's way more detailed on things that, what are your puppy's likes and dislikes? Are there things that they might need work on, or they're shy about, those kind of things. And then you turn that in to the head trainer, and she goes over that with you. Because we've gone before, we know what her facility looks like and what she does at her facility. But if there's new people, when I was new, they gave me a tour of the facility. They explained what happens with the dogs while they're there, and that kind of thing, and what kind of training they do, and how many people they have working with the dogs, because they have more than one person that works with the dogs. And they do a lot of training just at the facility, but then they set up days when they go into
They go into local businesses.
Medford.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And they'll go like to the mall in Medford, Oregon, and ride the elevator and that kind of thing, and see how the dogs do in public, and so they can learn how to press the public access buttons and things
Okay.
on the doors.
Well, good. Well, that's
listen.
great. I can tell they're doing really well. Carrie, did you have any other
Sit.
questions about the
Good.
puppies?
Sit. Oh, you're
About
sitting
the-
on my
or
cord there,
service
bud.
dogs in general?
Good boy. Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys basically covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity. You know, everybody always, oh my gosh, I could never do that. I couldn't give them up. But it is so cool. When you,
I was thinking about that at the end of the time. That's got to be hard to just turn them over.
But the first time that you go to a graduation ceremony and you meet the family that gets your dog, and you see how grateful they are that you took the time to raise a puppy that's going to help their child, that they may have been on a waiting list for 2 or more years to get, it's totally worth it. There's tons of tears and there's all of that, but it's totally worth it. And they become like your extended family.
And
Yeah.
like I said on the last show, because I had a companion, an emotional support dog, and the bond is just, no matter what kind of service dog that you have, it's just amazing how
No.
amazing the bond is between your dog. It's just amazing, whether they're a
Sit.
companion or an actual
Hey.
certified service dog.
Sit.
It's just amazing
Tucker, here,
the kind of bond that you
Sit.
can have
sit.
with a dog.
There you go.
Because I lost mine, I had him for 9 years, and he was 17, and I just go crazy without him. You know, my husband has a dog, and I love her to death, but I still, you know, feel lonely without mine. So I was really attached to mine. So
And the way that
And
Canine
so-
Angels places their dogs with their children is a little bit different. They do what's called a 2-week training camp at the and then at the end of every kid works with every dog while they're at camp, or every kid's family, because some of the kids are not able to work the dogs themselves. And then at the end of week 1, they've kind of seen who bonds with which dog the best, and they place those dogs with the people. And then they have that entire weekend after week 1 to have the dog on their own. And then they come back for week 2 and they see if the placements fit well or if they need to make some adjustments. And then they continue with their training for the second week. But even by the end of like the 3rd or 4th day in the first week, you can see kids and dogs bonding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's amazing how the bonds just,
And the parents always talk about how it's instantly changed the lives for their child. I think it was my first dog. He was at the 2-week team training, and I get this text from the trainer going, "Oh, I just had to tell you this cool story. This little boy took one of the dogs home for the weekend, and the next morning his mom got up and he was dressed. In 9 years, he had never offered to even help dress himself.
Wow.
And so just one night with this dog, ended up being my pup, which was really cool. Of course, I bawled my eyes out. But
That is good.
just the fact that they can change their lives so quickly is pretty cool. That's what makes this worthwhile.
That's,
like my dog, I took him home and he jumped in the car with me, and he wasn't afraid of the chair, he wasn't afraid of nothing. He jumped on my lap. He knew where he was going. He knew that I was his new owner. He just knew everything. He knew how to get on the leash for me. He
No,
just knew
You're
everything.
chewing on that cord. Stop
like
it.
he just knew,
You were home.
automatically knew. He wasn't a certified service dog, but he was a companion dog, and he just knew. Like if I was upset, he knew. You know, Mama's hurt, Mama's upset. He just knew. So.
Well, great, you guys. Well, thank you so much for coming. That was really informative and definitely a great program. And the puppies did great, just meeting each other. They seemed to have fun. So, and I know your contact information will come up on the screen if people have questions or
Okay.
Feel free to call.
yeah, need information. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for another Helena Industries Reports. Please tune in again next month to find out more about the opportunities and services for people with disabilities right here in the Helena community.
And Carolyn is leaving us, so this will be her farewell show.
Yes,
so
we'll have a
we-
new host next month, but
We
Carrie
wish
will still
her
be here.
we wish her well in her endeavors. So
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.